Yeah, check that out, didn't you? Oh my word! Oh my word! You can tell Shane's gone for a fag, can't you? Oh my
Yes, you
word!
can
This
tell.
was ages. The fuck! I blame
Uh,
you for that, Sid.
yeah, you can.
Anyway, how are we doing? Good afternoon, and welcome back to Koi Culture, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, people.
Shane
We
will
don't
be
know where Sam is.
Shane will be with us momentarily, and I don't know where Sam is. I haven't heard from Sam today. And before you all start in the comments, yes, I did have a fucking fight with the hedge clippers.
Oh man.
George.
I
Well,
like the new hairdo, Vince. I like it. You're
well,
looking sharp, bro.
yeah, well, I walked into the hairdressers, and honestly, it's the same bloke does my hair every time. And
Mhm.
he looked at me and then looked at the calendar and he went, I'm like, yeah, and the thing is, I hate going into town. I really do hate going into town, and that's all it
Why?
is. I, just too many fucking people. You know, it's different when you're at a koi show or a koi
You need to
gathering.
come
You
to
know what
India,
I mean?
Vince.
Because everyone's like-minded. But when you go into town, everyone's running or everyone's moving at 1,000 miles an hour, and you're like, no, I just can't do it. So yeah, it is mainly a case of it just grows and grows and grows till I get to the point where I just can't cope with it anymore. So we'll give a bit of acknowledgement to everyone in
Oh,
the comments. Kashi, Gav, Budget Pong Keeper, and like I said the other week, guys, please pop over to Chris's channel. He's had to start again from scratch. I think this is the third time running. Fucker. But yeah, go over and give Kiss the Budget Pong Keeper some love and
some
give
love.
him a subscribe. We've got Seska in, Chris is in over in Illinois. We've got George up in Scotland, Kashi in Scousland, Busy in Kentland, Wickham Coy in over in America. I can't remember where in America you said you was. I do apologise. So yeah, I think that's everyone covered in my comments. So how's your week been then, Sid?
Oh, it's been hot, bro. In all sorts of ways, it's been hot. Oh,
How
look
we
who's
doing,
here.
all? How we doing?
Hey, finally graces the show. Do you know how
We
much of
had
a
a,
cluster it turned out to be?
yeah, it was bad.
Just not good enough, bro. Lungs before show is not good. Anyway, we're with Sid at the moment, and Sid's been a very busy
Yeah.
boy this week. So come on, lay it all down, Sid.
Oh, dude. So we're finishing the ponds, and now, like, I've got another 56 Sansai added to my list. Um, just working everything out. I've got the opening for this place set for the 20th. Um, it's nuts over here, man. There's just so much going on, and it's so hot, man. It's so hot. The other day in traffic, the temperature gauge, the ambient temperature gauge on the car was saying 45 degrees. That's how hot it was. Okay, so like when I say hot,
Now,
it's toasting your air conditioning hot.
I'm gonna stop you there. Now, if we go back to one of the first shows where you were going, it's not hot out here. It's a piece of piss. Da, 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 da. He spends a couple of
It's
weeks,
summer now.
in Japan, and now all of a sudden gets home and he's like, it's too hot. I can't
No,
go.
it's damn hot, man. This
Come
week, summer's kicked in, man. Summer's kicked in, and Pune, where I live, it's like arid and dusty and stuff. You know what I mean? So it straight up goes into like, oh, it's really bad.
So
But
that's
it's okay.
not grey hair then.
That's pardon. That is maybe a
So,
little bit
I
of
said,
gray
so
hair.
that's not grey hair then. That's just dust that you've caught, is it?
Maybe. But the tanks are nearly done. They should be done today. I was gonna do the live from there. I was considering it, but there was nowhere for me to even sit where there's light and things like that, decent light and stuff. There's no way I'm gonna do a show there. I was absolutely filthy. I got home and just quickly like washed myself up and got ready for
So
the show.
how far are you away from getting water and filtration in the new setups and the new systems? And I know you're going to show some photos and some videos in a bit, but
Yeah.
how far realistically are you away
3
from
days.
3 days? So
3 days away from water. Like right now, it's as of today night or tomorrow morning, it will be done. Yeah, and then it's a matter of curing and just giving it some time, watering the cement and letting it soak in the sun a little bit, and
yeah,
then I'll put my coat of waterproofing on the next day. And right now there's some solid sun, so curing and drying is not turning out to be an issue right now. So yeah, it's all just like it's super efficient right now in terms of drying and stuff. But so I think 3 days later I'll be putting in water and doing my first like run of the filters and the pumps, maybe on the fourth day, maybe by fourth day.
so from start to now, how many days has it taken to get to the point that you are at now?
I'm 11 days in, man. I'm about 11
11
days
days
in now, I
in
think.
from a blank canvas
12 days. Yeah. Just a
to
flat bare piece
I've
of mud.
I've seen what's been created, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, as you know, we had a video call when we was at New Forest, and you were chatting with Rick, and yeah, the ponds that he's had built are absolutely phenomenal, and he's had 2 teams running, one in a day and one in a night. So have you found there's been any issues on the construction side with the temperature?
With the temperature, no, not at all. Like right now, what I've done is I've put these big green tops, green sheets on top of the transparent thing, so it's creating about 60% shade. And then on top of that, we've like opened up the metal structure to like give it ventilation. So and it's pretty decent over there. It's not too bad, but now it's gonna start getting closed in and things like that, and it'll start depending heavily on ventilation. And also I'm trying to hopefully if I can make it on time, I'm trying to do a DIY chiller on my tanks, on at least one tank, because I want that as a reserve. And then I'm gonna try and cool the place with air conditioning. Okay, because I really need to be able to control the ambient temperature in that place. No way I'm leaving it to nature at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've got too much on the line. I'm gonna make sure I've got the yeah.
You're hoping to have a slight temperature difference in your tanks as well, though, aren't you? And that's why they're so deep. So can you throw up some pics, and then you can give the explanation on why you've gone this route?
Yeah, hold up, just a quick little second. Oh, it's been such a week, guys. It's been such a mad week. It's been a mad couple of. The month has been mental.
I've never heard of a swamp cooler.
A swamp cooler? No, I've never heard of a swamp cooler either. Okay.
Maybe Chris can jump on a bit later and explain what that is then.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's
I
go on now, boy. Chuck some
that would be
pictures and
awesome.
video.
Yep, I've got it. Hold up, just a second. You know how I am with the tech. I'm a little slow. No, I just downloaded it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so those are the smaller ponds with the smaller chambers. They're all completed. They're just being
Right, you
watered
say
and cured.
smaller ponds. What
Yeah,
sizes are those smaller ponds?
about
What are the
16,000 liters.
so what are the actual width specifications and size
So
specifications?
I'll have to pull it up, but it's about 12 by 10 by 6.
So that's foot, is it?
Yeah, in feet. I'll just pull up
Yeah.
the calculator and tell you what that is. Hold up.
So these ones are being a foot shallower than the other side. Then
Yeah. So 19,000 liters. Okay, 20,000 liters, out of which in that space, the sump dedicated sump area is 6,000 liters. So that's how it turns out to about 15,000 liters of pond and about
yeah,
5,000 liters of sump filtration.
Yep.
And then I don't know if we can get a shot here. Yep, there you go. Okay. So on the bottom of the sumps, you can see my two pipes. Yeah. Those are
yeah.
primarily what I'm going to use to circulate the water. And then the bottom
So
of the
the
sumps are
smaller sumps are for one side, and the bigger sumps are for the other side, are they?
correct. The bigger sumps are
Yeah,
for the bigger ponds, and the smaller sumps are for the smaller ponds. Like these, the the sumps are deeper than the pond. So the pond is at 7 foot depth in construction, but
on this right hand side.
all of the ponds in general are 7 foot of construction, and then intended for 6 foot of water.
Right.
And then the sumps are 7 feet of water, and the bottom drain on the sumps, just like the intention is that because the bottom drains are the lowest part on the entire system,
Yeah,
it's going to be smooth as hell to like clear them out and clean them out and get everything going. Everything is concave. There's no sharp angles. Everything is
yeah.
nice and rounded on the bottoms, and like
Yep.
it's beautiful, bro. Vince. It's
Well,
beautiful, bro.
I haven't actually seen this one here, but I see the videos you sent me of the teams actually putting the plastering on. My word,
Yeah,
they work. They some of the conditions they're working in, you're like, wow, really? But yeah,
dude,
it
and
looks
I'm being
looks
as
stunning,
nice.
mate.
Like, see, these people, they do this every day. Okay, construction workers are some of the least paid employees in the entire of this country. I paid every single person well, way better than they'd get paid anywhere else. I went out of my way to give them every facility I could, whether it was cooling or anything that was relaxing, or whether it was a good meal, or whether it was just some cold water. And you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
and and that's as simple as that. They love me. I made a couple of friends. There's some cool guys. You know what I mean? There was this one chacha, like this old dude that was doing the plastering. Man, he was a pro, dude. He was slapping it on like, you know what I mean, like a machine, man. So good,
it's just
so good.
crazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, it was
We call them
really.
mysteries here, no?
Have you got if that have you got that clip? You can
Yeah,
show people.
I do have that
Because
clip actually.
I do think people out there watching would be interested to see how things are done, and I mean that's the
Yeah,
whole part of this show, isn't it? To get people
yeah.
from other parts of the world to show us how things are done, and your construction methods compared
Are
to
fully
ours
manual, bro.
are
They're fully
but
manual.
they're completely different. Completely different.
Yeah,
Yep.
Can you see what I mean?
yeah. Here is a video of him. 1 second, guys. There. Hmm. I have to keep changing
Yeah,
the
while he's
names
just
every
doing
time
that, guys, how's everybody having a good week? And yeah, welcome in.
Yeah,
I know I've seen some
Look at
new
this
people
guy.
coming in, joining us.
Oh, oh no, that's just the that's just the video of him smiling. I think so. I sent the wrong video. I love him, man. He was such a sweet sweet dude. You can from some people's faces you can tell, man. And he's got one of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
There you go.
Wait till you get in the house, cheers, then.
But it's taken about 11 days right now, and we have beasted it out. I don't
Yeah.
think I like everybody was so damn sure that there was no way we were gonna be able to pull this off.
Well, it's not just that. I mean,
So that's in there, plastering it, plastering the wall, adding concrete to the brick. You know, obviously he will finish it off once it's done.
yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe we can see that with the pictures you were showing at the start.
correct. So that's pretty much how it's been done, man.
All by hand.
Fully manually.
Mate. Absolutely awesome. And the fact that you've had two teams running day and night, I mean, and you changed your plans and designs that you originally set out for that building as well, haven't you? Considerably, because you were going
Yeah,
to
I
go
went bigger, man.
with you was going to go round vats, weren't you? And now you've gone to
Yeah.
huge.
So you know what? I was looking at. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how I see it. Yeah. I already do a lot of contracting work. You know, we already do a lot of construction of ponds and creating these sumps and all of this stuff. So we have the experience to do it ourselves. It's not like when we buy vats, we're buying products. You know, and it's a temporary thing. Tomorrow, God knows, a rat chews through the top and like what, 10,000 euros, pounds of like imported koi are like dead.
Yeah.
No, man, I can't risk it like that. And I have so many beautiful fish coming. I can't meet them halfway and all. I need to get all the way there and
Yeah.
be at 100% from day one if I'm gonna be playing at that level. You know,
Is
Does
that
make
one of the
sense?
reasons why you put windows on one set of tanks?
So that's what's gonna
What
happen.
was
So right now you're seeing those windows on that side of the tank. That's a building behind the space, and you're seeing it because I've opened up the walls, the metal walls,
yeah,
the sheets. You know what I'm saying, for ventilation. But it'll go back on there, and yes, there are gonna be windows on that side. Three long windows, and then the other side where the glass is, there's gonna be no windows there. Um, it's gonna be so.
yeah. But what I meant
The
is
idea is
what was the thinking of putting the windows on those three tanks and
because
not on all six?
because so the entrance is right there, right? The
Right.
entrance is right there. Those are the and those are going to be intended to be the fish that I intend on selling, or the fish that I intend on showing, because I'm not keen on selling every single fish immediately. You know, the vats at the back are where like I intend on keeping the smaller toe size that are that I picked up, that I want to invest in. You know,
Yeah.
like, because I've built these ponds in this exact type of way so that if I'm sitting with a koi, yeah, I'm making the maximum possible growth on it and
Yeah.
superb results coming out of it 3 months later. So like that, when I've already tried it out in my IBC wax. The chagoy that you guys saw me that I just sold off a few days ago.
Yep.
That fish came to me about 6 months ago, like 12 centimeters, 13 centimeters. Yeah. And in the nice warm waters in like 6 months, that fish is at 46 centimeters. You know what I mean? And at one point I had,
I like watching
pardon?
that shit. That's why I
Yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
getting.
I love it, man. It's awesome. So like these tanks that I've built here, they're deep, they're warm, they're like they're gonna give that fish that feeling that they're in a big space. The
Yeah.
circulation is gonna be 3x, 4x, and up to 6x circulation per hour. It's got huge biological, and then boom, the sun pounding down on it from on top. Oh, bro, I can feed so much in those tanks. You know.
So, how much did your trip to Japan and all the time you spent with Marahiro-san, how did that impact on the changes that you've made to what you're building and the way it's going to run?
So the depths of my tank is something that's changed because, as you noticed, before I went to Japan, my plan was to make it about 3 feet of water and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
um, that is something that's changed. The sizes of the sumps have changed. Um, Sid, you just paint the walls or fiberglass them. So I'm painting them with latex coating, no, like the rubberized waterproofing, black one, and
Right.
I find that I've been using that for a long time. Um, Pirifin 2K, it works perfectly for me. I can slather it on nice and thick, um, generously and no stress. But
Is
I
that
don't
what
need
you've got
I
on your? Is that what you've got on your pond at home, but just in grey?
Yeah, so I had that in my pond at home, and then I tried another product, yeah, which didn't work out, which was the gray one, and it was a
Mhm.
Yeah.
DIY type of trial thing, and it didn't work out.
Yep.
It's peeling and stuff like that. It's okay, no stress. But I'm just gonna stick with what's worked for me all this time,
Yeah.
and so the depth is one thing that's changed. Yeah, before I went to
Before
Japan,
four.
before I went to Japan, I was comfortable with picking up fish from here and there and things like that. But not anymore, man. That entire setup's actually going to be just dedicated to Japanese koi, Nishiki koi, and imports from Japan. Because I've got I, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have
There's
changed.
a lot you can't talk about at the moment.
Yeah, because there's some amazing things in the works, man. There's some amazing things in the work. I'm gonna break some boundaries real quick. If I can keep it all together, and I just
Yep.
don't want to jinx it. Just like the big fish deal, just like this Japan trip, just like Indonesia. Like I just don't want to
Yep.
jinx it. I want to play
Yep.
it safe. But it's gonna be insane, bro. This opening, I'm gonna go all out, bro. I'm going all out, bro.
Well,
You
I
guys
hope you're
on?
getting live when on the opening.
Oh, for sure. 100%. And you know what the best part is, Vince? You know what the most insane part is? On the day of my opening, there's going to be 4 Nisai um, competing, being shown in the junior koi show in Japan with Maruhiro-san. And
Yeah.
I'm going to
Are
get to
these
maybe
fish you
live stream
picked?
that. Yeah. Well, two I picked and 2 he picked.
Sweet.
I will show you them. I will show them to you in a little while.
Yeah.
Not today, because we're still selecting the exact final ones a little bit here and there. Um, but that's something beautiful that's happening. I don't know what is going on, folks.
Mhm.
It's nuts right now.
See that good karma, that is. See that good karma.
Oh man,
So
karma
Shane,
definitely.
Yes, mate.
what have you been up to this week, my old fruit?
I just tidying up after last weekend. Did have a slight issue with the bottom drain, so re-drained it, made sure it was dry. Gone round with a sealer. Going to top it up again, probably after the live. Give it a test out. leave it a couple of days just to see if it drops, because it did drop a little bit. So yeah, get that done, then just start painting. I've already got the front pretty much coated,
Yeah.
so then it's just a case of going inside, doing all the woodwork, and going
So,
from there.
one question: why hasn't there been a video then?
Just haven't got around to it. Pure and simple.
Have you lifted up that membrane and leveled the floor out in there now, or is
No,
that
because
still?
I want to get the make sure it's not dropping. So in case it's not there, I can
Yeah.
I can still backfill it without having to dig it out again.
Yeah, yeah. And
There
the other
there was a
IBC
little drain. There was a little drip on the 245s that got made into the 90.
right? Yeah,
There was a little drip there that before we probably would have got one anyway. So again, let it dry, smeared it again, make sure it's nice and sealed, left it. So by the time I fill it back up, that should be well cured.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And any more losses in the other tank running on the Tempest? That running sweet? How are they doing in there
Lemon,
now?
lost a lemon.
Is that the only one that you lost? That you was saying that you lost one?
Out of there, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you only lost the one we were expecting in the fish tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
So
one's technically still holding. The Aragoki's still holding. It's just he
yeah,
swims a little bit, then he goes a bit silly, then he swims again. He's eating. I'm just putting that down to how stress he's got.
yeah. Hang on,
So
Simon. Love you.
yeah, you definitely do not tell Keith.
So yeah, so everything's settled down in the IBC tank and the fish tank now. Then
Yeah, the IBCs, they're not coming up as such for feeding. I'm not sure why. Maybe you or the other guys in the chat could help us with something. What causes a koi to get cloudy eye?
cloudy eye.
Mm-hmm. Literally, 4 of them have gone looking like they've almost gone blind in one eye.
I'd say either over medication or bad water quality.
Have you done any more scrapes since I was last down?
Fine. Can't see nothing on scrapes.
Meth glue, high concentration, will give you cloudy eye. What do you think, Vince?
I'm honestly not sure.
Let me Google it. Let's see what Google says.
Go on then. I'm honestly not sure. I mean, last time
First
when
time
I
I've ever heard of it.
it was last weekend, wasn't it? I was down,
So it says, Google
and you were
says,
riddled with mist. Yeah.
poor
Yeah,
water
Costa's
quality is a common culprit. Pond which has high
They
levels
could
of
have.
nitrates or ammonia,
Nitrates are at 0.7.
high concentrations of chloramine or chlorine.
When they're going through the chlorinator when I top them up.
Mm.
Yeah, I know,
Okay,
Simon.
so
And
secondary to underlying cause that could be parasitic or bacterial. It can be a secondary infection from something else.
I would say that there's the real possibility that you could still have the Costia, or you've got Chiladinella, because that's one of the things we treated for in the Munga Tunnel this week. Had a real wobble in there, but then we've been moving fish from different ponds and everything else in and out of there. So
Yeah,
You
bang
can,
on, mate.
you can do, Dean. You saw how I did it, didn't you? All you got to do is get the one of the slides that have got something on, so you can get it into focus 4. Yeah, definitely. So, and I mean, it was last weekend I was down, wasn't it? Yeah, last weekend that it was a costier rave party on that slide, wasn't it? I mean,
Mhm.
I showed you yourself, Shane, and it was it was absolutely
Oh yeah.
crazy. So yeah, they were hit with a dose of malachite green and formalin
Yeah.
on a 3-day course. So
Yeah,
I
they
would
had a
have thought
3-day course of that.
that they would have been all right. But did you put that box filter back on to aid?
No, we haven't.
You didn't. I'm sure I
No.
said to Dean to put that on and run in
Well, I
tandem for a
wasn't
bit.
told that.
I'm sure I told Dean to run that in tandem with the Tempest for a little while until the Tempest matured.
They didn't tell me that.
So you
If that's
might,
the case, I'll have to put a bit of metal, that one of them metal pieces across,
yeah.
turn it off, take the hose from the turn from the
Have you not
tempest.
got a small pump you can chuck on there just to
Hose.
get water running through it?
Not sure. So I don't think I've got the spare hose to. I know, Sid, you laugh and you crack off every time I say the word hose.
Oh, sorry. You smile as well, okay? Don't.
Yeah, you could do it from the return from the tempest going into the box. Just give that box a clean out.
Well, yeah, you could, because the return from the Tempest is just swinging into the thing anyway. Okay. So you just
Yep.
just put that pipe straight into the inlet.
Mm-hmm.
Bob's your uncle, things are on.
Yeah.
Just make sure you give it a good clean out first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'll give it a good clean
Dude,
out.
is there salt in that tank?
Not yet, because I had the malachite and formalin in. I wanted to give it a few water changes to get the formalin out of it before I put before I think about putting salt in, because obviously I believe with formalin, if you put salt in there, you can turn it toxic.
It will turn
Okay.
toxic. Will turn
I haven't used
toxic.
formalin.
Yeah, formalin and
Formaldehyde.
PPL2. They are nasty. They are nasty chemicals, but they're not something to be shied away from.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the latest conversation is using PP for treatments, and I've been screaming for years. There's
There
nothing
should be
wrong
one
with
up there.
PP.
Just a second, guys.
There should be one up there still attached to the top.
Is he up in the shed trying to talk to us while we're?
Yep. And there should be a hose tail up there. No, I could have been weighted. Yeah, so just connect it onto that.
Yeah.
There should be plenty of hose tail.
I do apologise,
GBs up
ladies
there.
and gentlemen, but we will come back to you very shortly. Shane
Yes.
and Dean have just taken over.
Makes a change.
Yeah, yeah.
Alperex and 0.6 of salt. We'll do.
Yes, Simon, it will.
So if
Yes.
anything, if it gets too bad, then get the formalin out of it, and then get a few kilos of salt in it.
How's the kamikaze Shisui? Shisui is doing absolutely fine, Ricky, and swimming around in the IBC tank. So temperature differences when you come to collect it will not be an issue now.
You got another kamikaze. So where is it? Sid goes and then another one takes over.
Oh yeah, it was the Shisui out the growing on tank. Ricky was supposed to have been taking it home with him and put all his other fish in a bag. And I come back out and he went, "Well, Shisui's not in the bag." And then we looked down in between the East pods and it was down on the fucking floor. Put it under the return, washed it off, chucked it back in, swimming around fine. 5-10 minutes later, doing absolutely great in the IBC tank now. So yeah, Ricky, whenever you want to come and collect it, boy. Can't do it tomorrow because I've got the electrician coming out here. Farm Tuesday, my birthday Wednesday.
Oh,
Going to Costco with my mum on Wednesday as well. Then back down the farm Thursday. Hopefully, getting the hatcheries lined out and filled.
you're Aries,
Thursday.
Vince.
Huh?
You're an Aries.
Yes, I am.
Yep, there's two of us in here.
Yep, and I am true to my star sign.
I'm
that's
an Aries too,
completely
Shane.
Oh fuck, all three of us.
It's a completely different
Yeah,
story.
all three of us are Aries. That's crazy.
All three of us are Aries. I'm next. Not obviously you got Vince's on the 10th. And then mine's the following Friday,
What is that date?
19th.
Okay, so I'm in between you guys.
Literally
I'm
the
on-
day before you open your shop.
Yeah,
You said you're opening.
and
on
I'm on the
20th.
14th, the day before the fish arrive.
He's busy.
Out of Rams.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, hoping to get the hatcheries lined on and filled over Tuesday or Thursday this week, because the Monday and Tuesday the following week we're hoping to do the first round of spawn-ins down at the farm. And if we can get the Kajaku and Kinshawa to spawn, then could quite possibly be 3 weeks after that we could be kicking off the grand show with a difference.
Yeah, which is why I want to be kicking this in the booty pretty
Oh,
sharpish.
And I would like to say a very big thank you to everyone that came along and joined us for the first auction at New Forest Koi Farm this week.
That was a good option.
I tell you what, that Aragoki just blew us away. Going to be a real nice fish, the Aragoki, when it gets bigger. But yeah, all cracking fish. I mean, Gav, he's got a cracking Gimrin Matsukow backy coming his way, and he won the Kajaku. That Kajaku was.
There you go.
Kajaku.
Talking of Gav, talking PP, I've read it affects Deutz more than scaled.
Yep, that's true. Most
Never heard that one. But what you've got to think about is, if you've got a true Deutsch fish and it's got no scales, it hasn't got that second
armor scale layer.
When you look at it, scales in a way on a scale koi is almost like armor, because that's protecting the skin underneath. You know, which is why, unless you've got a fucking scale flapping in the breeze, you don't pull the fucker, because if you pull a scale, you can feel when a scale's dead, because it will feel like sandpaper, right? But if that is not flapping, it's still attached to the scale pocket. Now, unless you actually cut around the scale, so in effect you are cutting the skin around the scale, you can then tease the scale out of the scale pocket. Yeah. Now, if you just pull on that scale, if it's sat there, might be dead, but it's sat there. It's not inflamed or anything. It's just sat there. If you pull, literally sedate your fish and pull that scale out, guarantee you 95% of the time you will damage that scale pocket. And once that scale pocket is damaged, there is never going to be a new scale come back out of that pocket at all. You will end up with a scar. So unless you've got something it happens on Deutsch fish very, very regularly. We've had it down the farm when we've been catching them with the seam net, because they've got the odd scale and they haven't got anything else around it to hold it in place, so to speak. Can you see what I mean? So when they're pulled in with the net, they've got more chance of lifting a scale than a scaled fish has, because on a lot of Deutsch fish, you only get the odd one or two scales, or you get a linear line.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll find the odd scale that's above the linear line has more chance of being caught than the ones down the linear line that are all in a nice, neat row. Can you see what I mean?
Yep.
Which is why
Argo
Deutsch
is a
fish are.
conflict.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but there is ways of getting it out, and just gripping over it with some tweezers and pulling it is not the way to go.
No, not the way.
It needs to be done properly, and the proper way to do it is you cut around, because you've got your scale scholar. So when you've got that bit and then it goes down and like that, you're only seeing that little part of the scale. But the thing
You're not
is,
seeing them down.
that scale is attached to all the rest by the skin, the footprint. Yeah. So you have to cut very finely around that V to be able to tease the scale out of the scale, out of the scale pocket. Can you see what I mean? A dead scale, over time, it will get to a point where it then starts to come loose and then can be popped out, and can come out when netting or bowling, running your hand down. If it's at that point, it will pop out. And if it pops out, you know for a fact it's not going to damage the scale pocket, because it pops out almost naturally, albeit you bowled it up to look at it and you run your hand down the side and it popped out. Well, then it's done it naturally, which means it will start growing a new scale.
Or it might not. It might not.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Unless I've had scales come back on Deutsch fish.
Yeah.
My one's come back.
Yeah, I have had scales come back on Deutsch fish, but like I say, Deutsch fish are more prone to having raised and knocked scales. I know Jim from It's What I Do. I mean, he's got a fish, and
Deutsch and Aragokia fish are just so much weaker and so much more exposed to like all of these diseases and parasites and everything, and because their skin is like leathery, it's not the same way that the scale fish is. The scale fish, you can really feel the armor and you can feel the thick layer of mucus on top of it. But like Deutsch fish, very often you'll touch it and it just feels like pure skin, very, very little bit of mucus layer on top of it, and like the chemicals burn them worse than the normal fish. You know what I mean? The parasites, just it's easy picking for them.
Yeah, because
so
the scales are like a secondary form of defense. And yes, that can happen, Will, but it's you haven't pulled it out. If you've run something across the scale and it's came out as you've done,
it was loose anyway.
It would. Can you see what I mean? You haven't damaged the scale pocket. I've actually seen where a fish has flashed and they've actually damaged the scale, and the scale you can actually see, and you can see a flap of skin there. And that happened to the Gimmer Becco when it belonged to my best mate. That's why she's got a scar on her shoulder. It is just a white area. No scales grew back, and that's because the scale pockets were damaged okay, they were damaged by secondary infection,
Mm-hmm.
but they were still damaged, which is why if you look at the big dim-rim Becco, there is a solid white patch on her shoulder, and that is scar tissue. White scar tissue, but scar
That I
tissue all
wish
the
you
same.
saw.
Well, I got about it was one of a couple of fish that I ended up having to do surgery on from my best mate. I mean, the most
Mm-hmm.
famous one, if you look back to the water start on my channel, was a chagoy
Yeah.
called Pussy Chag, because it had something caught in its mouth, and it blew up and blew up,
Oh my
but
god.
then it turned into both sides. And after about 6 months of treatment, going backwards and forwards every 4 or 5 days, having him out, sedating him, treating mouths is such a hard task when it comes to damage. But yeah, he healed up, never affected his growth, but his mouth was like that.
Yeah.
Saved him, didn't affect his body shape, didn't affect his, but didn't stop him eating. He was one of the first ones up. He hand fed and everything. So, you know, I think sometimes people are too quick to assume that a damage or a bang scale that turns into an ulcer is suddenly a bacterial infection. Sometimes it is. The odd occasion it's not. You know,
Oh,
it just shit happens. You know what I mean? People
dude,
say
that
when you got
term just
livestock, you got
gives
dead
me
stock.
that term
You
just
know.
gives me the heebie-jeebies right now, man.
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
I'm on such.
But I mean,
Oh,
look at my big dimmer in Sorrowgoy, mate. Every winter, I have two scales come up and raise slightly just behind her gill plate. Every winter. I could go out there, bowl her, scrape her, and I won't find a fucking thing. And they end up going down on their own. I just need them to go down quicker than they are at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of me is thinking maybe I should put the air source heat pump on the main pond, but the fact that I've now got 17 Dainichi shower in the growing on tank, I think it's going to. I think it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
And I've drastically thinned the tank out as well. So all the big fish that were in the growing on tank, the Sakura,
Now in the IB.
the Tanshi Kajaku, and all that, they are now in the IBC tank. And I kept eight of the ones that were in there originally. One, so I got two combinations together. So if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen within a couple of days, and they've settled in absolutely lovely. So I'm now down to 25 fish in the growing on tank, and that's taken a massive load off the filtration because of the sizes
and
of the
16
fish
of
that are
them are
in
the
there.
showers.
You've got 25 fish in there, 17 are Dainichi Showa. So they're a spawning that Rick done late last year. Both parents were Dainichi Showa, and
Nice.
they really good outcome from this spawning. You go back to the live this week, Rick was actually
Be
saying
right back, guys.
had had the spawning been earlier on in the year, they would have been a lot more progressed. But because they were a later spawning, they in effect had
They
about
got cold weather faster.
five or 6 weeks of growth, and they grew. But they then had a selection, and then went back out and ended up staying out over winter, over Christmas. You know, we netted the pond up a month or so ago, took the cream out of there and whatnot. And this is what's was left in there that didn't get netted. And I guarantee there's still a hell of a lot more in there than what Ricky thinks, because we had that horrible green slimy stringweed. It's weird. It looks like blanket weed, but when you go to grab it, it's like fucking slime through your fingers. Oh, Simon, bollocks. When you can prove that both parents came from Dainichi Koi Farm, then the offspring, whether they are bred in Britain or Japan, they're still fucking Dainichi Showa. No ifs, no buts, can't be disputed. So, yeah. So the whole plan was to empty the pond the other day, but because of the weed, we couldn't put a standpipe in, because it would have just clogged it up in fucking seconds. So Ricky went and gave it a scoot round with the net, and we did a selection, took out the best. Ricky put a load in his pond, we put some in our pond, and then later on in the day we had to go down and pick out a handful for a customer that's coming in today to pick them up. And while we were down there, Rick found the bowl of doom. In fact, at one point he was walking down the path, we were on his head spinning it like so yeah. And when we got down there, Rick had picked out what he wanted out of there and said, well, there you go, you can have a pick. And yeah, I come home with 17. A couple of them, people might think, did you pick them for? And it is purely.
Do you have a video of them?
Yeah, they're on.
I'm gonna pull them up.
On. Where was it?
Just a second.
What video
I'm
was
just
it?
gonna try and find it. Is it on the shorts?
No, it's not. It's what that's Sunday. Friday's video. The end of Friday's video.
Go and check.
I know Friday's video was quite long.
Has everybody hit the thumbs up button, guys?
I don't know.
I can't see.
I get fed up with asking, because it feels
Yeah.
like you're badgering people then, you know what I mean?
Oh hell no, I'm shameless, bro. I'm shameless. Guys, go hit that like button. I got some deep tanks, okay?
So yeah, a couple of them, they were almost yellow. One was
like
it was
Showa?
Yeah, exactly, like a key shower. So I've taken that one, and I've taken one that looks almost Kiyottsuri like. Yeah. And they're all from the same spawning. And I picked them purely because I want to see how they change and progress, which is another reason why I've halved the amount of fish that I think I both dropped it by more than half now in the grown on tank. So with 25 small fish in there, the easy pod, the shower, and the upflow and the biochamber is plenty enough for me to now start hammering the food in there and seeing what we can do. Because I've got two, they look very similar in Utsuri pattern wise, but one you can see is a real nice red, but this one looks yellow. Yeah. Now I have been doing some research, and like I've said with one of the Kiyottsuri I've got in my main pond, you do get Kiyottsuri from Kiyottsuri and Showa spawnings.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely get some cave stories.
Yeah. So,
You mean Kishawas?
well, that's in effect what if it stays yellow, then in effect what you've got then, and as far as I'm concerned, it is a key shower. But if that goes yellowy orange, then
That's good.
it's not. It's just a poor grade shower. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's why, and it is yellow at the moment. And I was like, oh, and Rick's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And that was what he said. But if you want to play with them, which was why I was thinking about it all the way on the way home, and I'm thinking the IBC tank's empty, but I'm not really going to get the best out of them in the IBC tank, which was why as soon as I got home, I opened up the long block door, I turned the air source heat pump off, and done a major filter clean, which drops the water by almost half. And then by the time I've topped it back up without the heater running, it had dropped them, it given them a drop in temperature. I then netted them and floated them in the IBC tank, which then dropped the temperature again. And they settled down pretty darn well. I really did think I was going to get a nasty wobble from them, but touch wood, they're doing really well. So yeah, got 25 in the growing on tank now, and it's a case of we'll see what happens because they're getting pummeled with good food, Munger mix and all. You see how different it looks now, Sid?
Oh yeah.
So all that
That's
goodness has now been
nutri-rich.
sucked into and stuck to the pellet. So yeah,
Yeah.
and because you do it that way, when you then put your pellet into the pond, it doesn't cloud the water because it's been absorbed into the pellet. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah. Busy, when you say the pond hit 15 today, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, yeah. It means the temperature's going up.
Okay. Oh man. It's
Mine's
my water
mine's
temperature's at
I think mine's
what is
sitting
it
at
then?
13 point.
Mine's at 31 last time.
Mine's 13.9. Shame I can't turn the camera around because Chips has now moved.
29. Vince, you lose network so Vince loses network so bad with
Yeah.
he's just lagging on us.
Yeah.
So there was some help needed in the koi house, Shane.
Yeah. Just couldn't find one of the hose tails for the other filter. But
So we were
managed to
just
find it. It was just up on the table.
Busy doesn't want to hear my water temperatures. She's
No.
done. She's done. No more.
Right. Seska's saying they've got rain and wind down in South Wales. It's dry here, but we've got the wind.
I don't think my internet likes Longrock.
No. Doesn't.
Hey, Jasper.
Jezebel, hey bud.
Oh, when you coming, JB? Need you in town, bro. He's gonna get his
So
his backside
has
cocoon.
Jezebel been helping you with your construction and stuff?
Yeah, he was with me towards the beginning. he's gone back now because there's some fish that need to be moved out of his place as well.
Yeah.
And there were some deliveries that needed to be carried out. But he's going to be back now in the next maybe 3 or 4 days, right, Jespel? He's going to be back in the next 3 or 4 days to be around when the fish come. Um, so yeah, so that I have some backup. Vince,
Did ask a question about your shower within long block and condensation. Was you wrapping it up like your little shower? There is a possibility I will wrap it up. There is the possibility I will wrap it up, but the plan is I'm not going to use that actual shower carcass that's on the main pond now. I'm going to build a completely new one, and there will be no
Yep.
holes in it. So by rights, there shouldn't be any condensation. If anything, I'll be getting condensation from would be the bio chamber that I want to put in. But like the bin that I have and what I have on the growing on tank, I will put a perspex lid on it. One, so I can still see the movement of the media, but two, to stop that from happening. And then once the shower is off the main pond, I can then look at frameworking it, insulating it, and then feather edging it or something to sort out that side of things, because I haven't got any room inside to be able to batten it off and insulate. So I'll have to do it from the outside.
Yep.
So yeah, hope that answers your question. But yeah, people are going to be a little shocked with the way I'm thinking of doing things. No,
Dan,
Dan,
have you ever made of a protein skimmer?
ever thought about? No, I've never thought about adding a protein skimmer on my main pond. Never found the need. And now that
yeah,
the fish are getting bigger, well, I say getting bigger. I've got a mixture of sizes in my pond. I love having a mixture of sizes. I think it just looks nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
well, I sent a drawing to our lesser spotted Ricardo. He came back and well, I've got to save up for 200 concrete blocks, and that will be enough blocks to build the new pond. Then I've got to start looking at what I'm going to line it with. Big part of me wants to line it with the same stuff that they use down the farm. Big sheet of visqueen.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the new pond is built exactly square, I can get them creases so that you're never going to be able to see them, let alone get anything behind them. And it will work out a hell of a lot cheaper. Either that, or what I will do is I will buy sections of rubber liner and then sealing it all together with my pond MS300.
yeah. Basically, it's like we'll all donate a block, Vince. Send you a block in mail.
Yeah, well, like I said before, Amazon wishlist don't do concrete blocks.
Wiccan is out. I've been
Life of
watching.
the Pokemon says, I've been watching James the Coy Whisperer's videos. He's having a right bad time with parasites. He was saying he could be going down the salt route as medication treatment. Well, to be honest, if you're going to go down the salt route and if you're going to try using salt to kill flukes, you're going to have to take it up to 0.9%. I
0.9.
mean, then you're skating on a razor's edge, because you've got to keep that 0.9 for at least a week. And I mean, if you do a water top up every morning or whatever, you've then got to re-add salt to keep it at that 0.9. But you are skating a razor's edge. Now, for any
I
other
love.
parasites, you're looking a minimum of 0.6 to 0.7. Again, you have to keep it maintained at that salinity for a minimum of 7 days for it to be effective. And then it's a nightmare getting the fucking salt back out of the system.
Yeah, that's true.
Salt is a very good product, and if it used correctly in the koi world, it is phenomenal. But at the same time, it can be a bastard to get out of
Yeah.
the water system itself.
Plus,
Yeah, and it's not always going to work, which is why when I attacked mine the other day, I actually done a 3-day course of PP. Now, I'm like I said in my video, I'm not going to tell you the dosage rate that I used for my PP, because it'd make a lot of people's ass go 50p, 5p rather fucking rapidly. It did make mine do that at one point in time on day 3, but soon as it was over, they then got hit with fluke treatment, and touch wood, so far they're gone. But would I go down the salt route for treating parasites? No, personally. The only time I've ever treated for parasites with salt was quite a few years ago, and I had my best mate Brad's fish in my pond, and he also had a bloody great sturgeon.
oh,
Yeah, so most treatments go out the window because they will knock your sturgeon on the head. So yeah, treating my pond for parasites with salt ended up quite expensive. So
Yeah.
yeah, another reason why I don't advocate sturgeon in koi ponds. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love sturgeon. I think they're beautiful animals, prehistoric dinosaur fish, you know. But I genuinely don't think they have a place in a koi pond, especially when they get bigger. Because when they get bigger, they will come up and compete with the koi for the food, and they are armored fish. If you've
Yeah.
ever held or tried to hold a sturgeon, you know, catches you the wrong way, it hurts, because they are armored, and they do push your koi out of the way, and they have been known to bash scales and so forth and so on. So there is a place for them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you've got a separate body of water that you can take the sturgeon out and treat separately, and then use the chemicals in your pond, well, then all well and good. But again, there's only certain treatments you can use on a sturgeon, because they.
what water temperatures are sturgeon okay with? That's up to like
Well,
what temperature?
and this is one of my biggest bugbears, is the fact there is plenty of garden centres and stuff out there that are selling sturgeon at 8 inches long for
Mm-hmm.
70 plus, and nine
Yep.
times out of 10, these creatures are being sold to people with practically no information about the fish itself. Now, the thing is, with
Yeah,
a sturgeon, no matter what size it needs a high protein diet right down to, I think it was -3, They
Oh my
need a
God.
high protein diet. So in the winter, you've still got to chuck in high protein pellets for your sturgeon, which your fish are going to eat, and they're not going to do them much good eating high protein at low temperatures, which we all know.
Yeah.
You know, and there's the fact that if they haven't got the right circulation or the right aeration in their pond, their sturgeon will turn into a horseshoe pretty quickly, and that's what happens when they die.
What do you mean?
They go in a when a sturgeon dies, you know, it
Oh,
lays flat on the floor. Well, a sturgeon will turn and bend so its
yeah.
base is facing the top, and that's how you'll find them floating on the floor, floating on the top of the pond. Slightest drop in oxygen or flow, they need heavy oxygenation, especially at big sizes. Yeah, they need a good constant flow. In my old filter house, yeah, I had enough, and I had a 4-foot vat that I was growing fish on. Now I had at the time 2 sturgeon of my own. One was an albino, and one was diamondback crossed beluga. Plus my best mate's one in there as well. Had a pump failure overnight. Literally, pump just shit itself. And because the flow stopped, 2 out of 3, by the time I'd come down, were already dead, and their skin was falling off. And that was within a few hours. My best mate's one, I then had it in my main pond by the tail, just swishing it backwards and forwards for I think it was about an hour and a half before it finally kicked into proper life and swam away. So yeah, if your pump stops or you have a power cut for any long period of time and the oxygen depletes out of the water, they'll die. They'll be the first ones to die.
Yeah, it's mental.
You've seen what are other fish that you can keep for this?
Mate, honestly,
Oh,
I
right,
got an old gentleman that lives by me, and before my mate Jose brought him round to me, he'd actually gone through 3 sturgeon in the matter of about 2 weeks. £75 a pot. And they all died because he wasn't told what they needed. And that's the problem with a lot of these garden centres nowadays. All they're worried about is what's coming in through the till.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the manga, which is a shame.
You know?
It's when you go to when you go to some of these other places where you find, you're looking in their vats and whatnot, and then they're all like, "Oh no, all our koi are perfectly fine. Everything, they're pristine." And you go and actually look in there and spend just 10 minutes looking, and you've got some there that were obviously they were born with only one eye because there's not even an eye socket.
But we've come across them on the farm when we're doing selecting. That's just part of it. I mean,
Yeah, I know it's part of it, but they're telling around and saying about it.
we actually went through a pond a couple of months ago, and that batch of fish had been selected through at least 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
When we went through them again, there was one that even Rick said, "How the fuck did I miss this?" And it was a shower, and it had no eye, and because of the sumi and where the sumi was,
You couldn't even tell.
you didn't notice it at such a small size. It wasn't until it got bigger, he's pulled it out and he's gone, "How the fuck did we miss that?" It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have a go at them for that one.
Vince,
But I have gone to places where you've got fish swimming around and they've got open wounds and stuff like that.
Yes, I've seen that as well. Yep, I have noticed that as well in a couple of
So-
places.
I've got a fun question, Shane. I've got a fun
What's
question,
that?
Vince. So
Right.
at my space, I've got to have
Mhm.
some sort of. I know it's a buzzkill topic, but you know how you guys Scooby snack. Well,
Mm.
I have nothing to eat the Scooby snacks.
Hmm.
What do you guys suggest I do? I was thinking maybe I was thinking like this 9 foot, 10 foot monster tank with some I don't know, maybe Arapamas, maybe an arowana, but then I don't want them to grow up and then be thinking about putting them in my koi baths. No way in hell.
I wouldn't go for Arapaima,
Yeah.
No.
but arowanas do look nice if you get the right one.
Mm. Like the pearl scale golden ones.
Yeah, exactly that, Gav. Exactly that.
Yeah, same as with us as well when we had ours in the main pond. Like when we
And
first started out.
Gav, I
Marine
bet you
pond.
it cost you more than fucking 60 quid, didn't it? Because most garden centres, the baseline price is about 75 quid for a baby sturgeon.
Simon Shears is saying you can use either a hornfish or a cichlid.
Oh really? I have cichlids, but you think cichlids will rip apart a piece? Maybe some piranhas? What about piranhas?
No, Gav said he paid 20 quid.
Fucking hell.
Ours was 20
That's a
as well.
steal.
Brother's just
Bargain.
turned around and gone, ours was 20.
Hornfish.
Most of them around here start at 75 quid.
Yeah, good old maidenhead. Yeah, it was a proper baby when we got our one. I grew to a good size though in the couple of years before we had the issue.
Oh,
Oscar tanks
I got
look
it.
amazing.
I do love Oscars.
Hmm.
My
So-
mum, when I was a kid, used to have a 6-foot bow front fish tank, and that had Oscars in. She used to feed them, hand feed them lumps of luncheon meat and stuff. Cracking fish.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, they'll grow to a good size, but not overpower the size tank that you're looking at building.
Yeah. So there's gonna be about there'll be one 1500 liter tank, and then two that are about 750 liters, and then three that are smaller than that. That's the plan.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking about what's gonna go in each of them. There's that
Mhm.
much space. Like before, I was thinking about doing the tank racks. Nah, I don't want a tank rack. I don't want that. Don't want that.
No,
vibe.
because then you start going through down a different line. Then when you start putting too many in.
I just simply want like 5 or 6 nice aquascapes, or like maybe some hardscapes, and just something interesting around the corner that someone can look at and appreciate. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like, maybe let's see. That'll be a surprise then.
Gav, when
Maybe some
when
red tail.
Red-tail
will grow
catfish?
big. They'll
Yeah.
grow.
They'll grow.
Red
They'll
tail
definitely
catfish.
grow. But
Yeah, Gavin,
we can make a
when
predator vat, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely. When Brad
that
moved his sturgeon on, that was 4 foot 2 inches, and that was still growing.
4 foot 2 inches. Damn.
And it was still growing. That is now swimming around a lake.
Aquascape just
the
the yeah, but the
smallest
intention
ones-
point of the Scooby stacks.
Yeah, the smaller tanks definitely. You know, I'm gonna use like local Indian fish, like the freshwater puffer and things like that. I'm really keen on trying to find like a couple of varieties of local Indian fish and turning that into a
So I got
steak.
one. One's literally just popped into my mind, and I say this because they've mentioned tetras,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I put some into my tank because at a certain store, name shall not be mentioned, they said, yeah, they'll be fine in there with tetras. They ate the whole fucking lot.
What?
Electric blue acaras.
Oh, I've never kept them.
They literally wiped out all the tetras, ate them. So you wanted
Another.
something that's you want to look at something that's only going to grow to like this kind of size, but will but
That size. I want something that will grow to maybe this size, you know,
I'm just
Red tail
saying,
maybe a little
catfish.
bit bigger.
yeah, red tails.
Red-tailed catfish, definitely. I think there's
I've
gonna be a predator tank, man. Vince, definitely. I've been
Yeah,
waiting for the
I do
space,
like a red tail
honestly.
catfish.
Hmm. With an arowana
But
and
if you
things
like,
like that. Makes
I
sense.
tell you what, arowana in the right tank with the right lighting
Just
look
alone solo.
absolutely. They look phenomenal. Really do. Pretty fish.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
they are known for jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we
you'll have to take
make some
that into
lids.
consideration as well.
Yeah. No, for sure. We make some lids
Yeah,
though.
last thing you want them to do is jump out of there, land in one of your vats.
No. So there are two different levels, right? So when you walk into the koi house, yeah, um, the glass of the vat of the ponds are like starting at your chest, you know. So
Yeah.
you're like looking at the pond straight at eye level, and then to look at the koi from on top, you have to walk up seven,
Yes,
6.5.
Peter. Yes.
Yes, Pia.
You know, I like that, Pia. I like that. You know, God knows what else.
That's like having a
God
nice
knows.
tank full of piranhas and just like
Mm.
just
Do you
have your
notice
hand just next to it.
how quick he keeps taking it away? Look.
Need a
I think
massive
it's because
tank
all of
for.
us were trying to put it, post it
This,
at the right
ladies and
same time.
gentlemen, is Sid's wife
Yeah,
The boss.
having her say in the comments.
yeah.
She's just the boss. But yeah, we're gonna have a 10-foot tank, Simon. No stress. And then I'm working out some sort of a little deal, and trying to get a little bit of space outside the barren space outside my koi house to semi greenhouse and turn into some plants and maybe put out a couple of bioflocks and things.
Be good.
You know,
You got to get this one open first before you start thinking about doing the outside.
dude, I 100%, 100%. Yeah, I'm yeah, but I kind of I'm so tense, man. Tense, so tense, bro. All just coming together so quickly. You know.
Mate, you've done phenomenally to get to where you
Yeah.
are now, from where you
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Vince. It's been a hustle. You know it has. It's been a fun
But
ride.
you've put the work in though, so
Yeah.
you know you can't you can't you can't deny that, and no one can knock it either because you wouldn't be where you are now
Yeah. No way.
otherwise.
Oh, you wait till I give you the news next weekend, Vince. You're gonna love the
Now,
news that I
talking
have.
about which,
Yeah.
you posted my flag yet?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Dude, I've barely been eating my meals at this point. That's all Pia's department.
You didn't
She's in the
post
comment
anything.
section. Yeah, nothing. I haven't posted anything yet. I've just been absolutely bonkers.
Well, I don't know what
Pia
size
took over
flagpole
the
I want.
Pia took over the pardon.
I want to know what size flagpole I need to order to put out in the
Oh,
back
dude,
garden.
it'll come with the way Pia's going. It's gonna come to you in a full variety of selections with poles and everything. It doesn't have its own pole. The samples that I bought, yeah, honestly, honestly, the manufacturing from a certain big brand koi farm in Japan is questionable indeed. Okay, and like
So you're saying that my Dainichi flag is questionable quality?
100%, bro. 100%. I was so Pia wanted to open them up and see what was being charged so much money for, and it's a brand scam, bro. You know, like it's a brand scam, bro. So it's damn tissue paper, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And like the edges are not even seamed. The seams are all loose and stuff. And like the colors real light, the materials like real light. It's just nuts, man. And like I'm having beautiful huge ones, thick materials, like you know what I mean, with the stands and racks and everything done, and everything done for like 1/6 the price, 1/10 the price maybe, with the poles. You know what I mean? And the flags I'm making are like 6 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot. The ones that I bought are like 3x1. What the hell is a 3x1 flag? That's not a flag, bro. That's barely a coffee table cloth. You know what I mean?
George, you could talk. You haven't even finished your block laying yet, boy.
Yeah, this rate better bring it to the national.
Oh yeah. I definitely, man. The way things are going, I'm definitely gonna make it for the national fence.
You
I'm
fucking
definitely gonna
better.
make it there. Yeah. It's just right now, my bucks are being used big time. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like
I
my
know.
bucks are being used big time, bro. Like the $100 that's gonna be the shipping for like these goddamn flags and some stupid 600 gram, 600 grams of shit to you guys is like burn right now. You know.
My
Otherwise,
Kanaka
normally,
said,
uh, yeah. They're waiting. They're waiting for my free cash to open up a little bit because right now, like I'm spending way too much money on smokes, bro. So
You need to
stressing.
start getting some hard boiled sweets, mate. That's what you got to do.
Hard boiled
Instead of,
sweets.
yeah,
Hard
instead
boiled
of
sweets. Oh
just
yeah,
instead of just keep going for the smokes all the time, just
yeah.
just
bang one of them.
shave your head and start sucking on a lollipop.
Oh my god. But grow it, Sid. Simon. Oh my god. Oh, are you suggesting a bog filter?
Depends what you're getting in the bog filter, boy.
If I was somewhere else in another country, maybe, but not here.
Mate, I'm absolutely gutted because I can't put our plants in our filter in the
Yeah,
Munga tunnel until we get the
Mhm.
fucking salt out.
Vince. You know what my opening date is? It's 4/20, dude.
Nice.
Oh man, isn't that something?
Yep, veggie box.
Yeah.
Veggie bar.
You calling a veggie?
Oh, you're gonna smoke the nitrites, huh?
I tell you what, my chart sorry keeps getting fucking horny.
Really already?
Yeah. Couple of times he's been chasing round.
Uh-oh. Is your water gonna be soiled soon?
What
I don't know.
females are egg bound? What ones are full?
I haven't got any that are egg bound, but
But how many are full?
my kamikaze Shiro, she's absolutely fucking hanging full of eggs.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, if
So
I had a
I
pool, I'd put the pool up, get a fucking heater in there, and get them on.
yeah.
Might
Guess
sort of
what?
fucking. But
Guess
Ooh,
what?
snakehead. Mm.
There's a 7 foot by 5 foot sitting up in my fucking shed.
Chana it is, bro.
yeah, but aren't snakeheads illegal in certain countries?
Oh, in India, that's all. It's they're legal as hell. No
Yeah, they're
stress.
fine in India.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're voracious fucking things. They are,
yeah.
but they still don't look as pretty as a red-tailed catfish, though.
That is true. That is true. It could be a community situation. It could be a community predator tank. No stress.
Have you heard of a lad on YouTube called Bash Fishing Productions?
Yes. Yes. I've watched quite a few of their videos.
You should check him out, Sid. You'd fucking like him. He's a
Yeah.
lad. He's in Florida, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's it
Yeah, he's
called?
in Florida. Bass Fishing Productions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he
Yeah.
goes round sewers and stuff, and he's catching out. He catches fucking tropical fish. He catches fucking all sorts out of sewers, bro. But
I've
he's also got dedicated ponds, and he's got like this butyrate predator pond, and he's got loads of red tails in there. He's got albino red tail. He's got shovel nose, fucking ones
nice.
that have got razor spines, and oh mate, check him out.
I've given him a sub already, but
Yeah, he does. But honestly, every time he catches a snakehead, he has to put it back because they're illegal in Florida. He can't, he's got to put it back where it was.
yeah.
But yeah, he catches fucking Oscars, cichlids, fucking all sorts in the sewers, bro.
That's
Fucking
great.
sewers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cichlids, they're tough fish, man. So,
Oh, awesome, Dan. Yeah, I do. I got to admit, I do like a red tail because you can almost tame them, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
really?
Yeah.
You can get them to that kind of point where you can kind of tame them. Yeah.
Wow.
Slap the water with a tilapia fillet.
They just straight up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you still
Bulldogs
quite a
and
lot.
water.
Yep. So we've got that other filter set up now. Got the UV on as well. Just to help it.
It's done?
Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't know you did aquaponics, Simon.
What apart from broccoli?
Hmm?
No, it just
No, Simon said broccoli always turns out nice with high ammonia, nitrite, phosphates through aquaponics. I didn't know Simon Shears did aquaponics.
Yeah, it does. It
in his
does.
koi pond. Simon, in your koi pond,
Come on, Simon.
have you tried it?
Answer the question, Simon.
I know quite a few people would have like a small tank to the side, and then they have it going through like a bog filter through the hydroponic system, and then back into the pond, so it's not actually connected as such. It's like how you'd have like a sump. So you'd have
Yeah.
it kind of going through the sump section, then back in. I've seen those happen, and I've seen ones with using like the micro lettuces and things like that as well, where you have it pump up through a long trough, which has obviously got the lettuces in, and then it returns back. I've seen quite a few of those as well. So
Watercress is good.
yeah, watercress is good.
When I had the long return across the back of the wall.
Yeah.
I literally just go and get a load of watercress leaves, chuck them on, they don't half take off. When they do, they grow like fuck. They attract the fucking butterflies, and
Mhm.
then all these caterpillars suddenly ravage all the plant edge, and you're just left with stems. But the thing is, if you time it just right, you can
Mhm.
grab hold of the bush, shake like fuck, and all these caterpillars just rain down onto the surface of the water. Fish go mad for
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Martin's got a load of the style of hydroponics down at Devon, as you've seen,
Nice.
Vince.
them. Martin, how we doing, brother? Not at work today. Nice. We've got another video coming out later. Ricky's biggest fan. Ricky is at the in-laws today. I did ask him to come and join us, but he's at a dinner with his in-laws. Rather him than me.
Oh, he's at work.
He is at work. Good lad.
Yeah,
I try
Martin's in
myself.
work.
Joking, but it works. Seen it work very well. Yeah, it does. And there's nothing wrong with it. More people
That's what I'll be
started doing.
doing is connecting it up to when I'm doing like the Tempest cleans and things like that. It's going to go outside into a water butt with a tap on, so that when we're doing, like for the, especially if up on the allotment with like the polytunnels,
Yeah,
just literally going to use that water, fill up containers, chuck them in the back of the car, and just take them up and empty them into the water butts in the polytunnels.
yeah,
Because obviously I've got it's a solar powered irrigation system in there, so I
yeah.
can just
Have you
literally
got the
just keep
solar panel working for
filling it up.
the IBC air
Not yet,
pump yet?
not yet, but
I
we've
tell
got it
you
set
what,
up.
you and Dean, I tell you what, you both need to pull your finger out.
Yeah. I'll get there. It'll
Dean
go
said he
there.
would have had that fun this weekend. I don't know.
If he'd been here for 2 days, maybe.
I thought you would have gone for another homemade uplift and then into a chamber, mate. Oh, come on, Dean. It's a couple of wires.
Yeah, and then you got all the coding and everything else as
It's a
well that goes
couple.
with it.
It's a couple of wires. It's a solar panel, for Christ's sake. How much work does it take?
No, it's all the coding for the pie.
For the pie.
You're not great with
Hey, Shane. You could ask ChatGPT to write the basics.
huh?
You could ask ChatGPT to write the basics of your pie code.
Who's that?
What sort of tech guy are you, Shane? ChatGPT, the AI chatbot
Oh, I'm not
that you
using
can.
that chatbot.
Oh man,
Oh, that
come
side
on.
is done apparently. It's just working out where we're going to put it and get the. I think we've got to get some more cable. I think that's what we're waiting on. Waiting on my payday to get some more fucking cable.
Every week there's a new excuse. I don't
Well,
know.
every week there's something new. Every day's a school day.
Every week there's a new excuse.
So what's the challenge with what's the program that you're trying to put in to pilot?
Yeah, well,
What are you trying to
why
make
haven't we
the
got the
system
solar
do?
running? It's a panel, cables to a relay,
Yeah,
from the relay to the inverter, from the inverter
yeah.
to the
That's
pump.
going into the fish and tackle shed, and then I've got to get enough cable to run from there through into the koi house because I don't want to put all that electrics in the koi house.
Why not?
Why not?
Mm.
Splash water, fire.
Mhm. You can enclose it to stop splashing, get into it.
Yeah. It is endless indeed, Martin. It is endless indeed.
Yeah, mine. I thought you would have made a double barrel uplift instead of just single ones. Do a trifecta, so you've got three in a triangle. You know.
What, have it so it goes like up and then down through into the next one?
Yeah, up, down. So in effect, you could make the middle one active, as in bubbling. So you got mechanical, biological, polishing out to the
That's it.
pond. All in 3 tubes. Oh, there you go, Martin. Another idea for you. Since the window in the 4-inch pipe one worked, you know it makes sense.
Go hit the thumbs up, guys. Busy's got our backs.
Yep.
Cheers, Andy Busy. But yeah, I reckon that could work.
I'm pretty
Should be
sure that'll work
interesting.
well.
Well, there
Excuse
is
me for-
a good possibility that I might be moving on one of my homemade uplifts.
You. Fuck me, Vince. You draw up the plans.
Done. I'll draw them up for you, mate. Yeah. Do you like that idea, Martin? I think that'd be fucking awesome.
That would be a good cracking idea.
But yeah, once I've come off air, I've got to go down and see my pa. And I know he's turning 78 this year, but he's losing the plot. He wants to take the Tempest off the bottom pond and replace it with another canister filter.
What?
Yeah. And if I can't talk him out of it, it means that I will
You
have
failed
another.
him as a son.
Fuck you, Jeeves. Motherfucker. So yeah, there is a good possibility that he might be coming up here. So yeah, I'll be replacing a homemade uplift with an actual Tempest.
Yeah. Or is he just stubborn like his son? That's what Busy says.
No, I'm not stubborn. Simon didn't take him out of it. Fuck me. Do you not think I'm a big enough advocate for EA as it is? 2 EA water pumps, 4 EA, 4 EA easy pods. I've got 1, 2, 3 EA air pumps, 2 EA Tempests,
Yep.
and a partridge in the battery.
Don't. There's me sitting there with fucking evolution aqua fucking UV.
Yep, that you haven't put on, that you won't need.
We're just going to go into the koi house, but we're not going to need it. So now that's just sitting there.
Well,
But
if
I
it's
might
brand new,
hook it up onto the small pond.
no, Martin, I haven't. You would have thought so, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I might hook that up into the small pond, and then make a filter.
No, I know, Busy, but I'm shit at writing emails.
You could ask ChatGPT.
Sid, you and that
Right,
fucking
you
ass
do.
chat fucking GB.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. It'll write
But,
you your sample code.
but even though we've calculated I need 200 blocks,
Mm-hmm.
I will need a good chunk of bricks because I am contemplating
Double
taking
skinning.
the easy pods out of the main pond when I'm able to rebuild.
Dude, Vince, you're gonna be rebuilding your big pond.
It
Yep.
needs rebuilding, mate. Honestly, I've got a short to do later because my main slide valve that comes off the bottom drain into the main easy pod, yeah, that is now dripping like a motherfucker. This back wall here, literally the back wall, it has bowed in halfway into the decking now that's going across the top of it. Next door's fence is doing that now, and that's only been in a year. The front's starting to bow out now. So yeah, it does need rebuilding. But at the same time, I need to make some changes in here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Twisted Towers is gonna go through major renovations soon.
Well, the back garden is anyway. Front garden, only one little bit needs left to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pond, you're gonna go bigger.
I will be going bigger
Deeper.
because on the back wall I can gain a foot. I can gain, I think it's 6 to 8 inches on the wall, flush with long block, and then I'm going to square it up. So measurements we were looking at was 9'8" in width, 10 foot 10 inches in length, and 4'8" in depth.
Why not a little bit deeper?
I wanted to go to 5 foot, but it's also having the money to be able to get a skip or a grab bag or a grab lorry
Yeah.
to come and get rid of all excess soil that you're going to have to come out. The one change that I am going to make is I'm going to take the sloping out of the floor for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go flat bottom.
See, if you lived where
And
Shane lives, you could just toss it over the fence, right, Shane?
Bricks, what
yeah,
bricks?
not only am I going to take the sloping out of the bottom, I'm going to
Yeah.
make it completely flat, which will give me
Oh, really?
extra surface area. Yeah, and I'm not going to be using a 4-inch sumped bottom drain. I'm going to use a 4-inch tank connector and a 90.
Vince, if you can manage 2 feet more, 2 feet more, or 3 foot more, you can hit the 20K mark.
Honestly, I keep saying I want to go down to get down to 5 foot, but
Mhm.
it's getting rid of that soil, and that's the biggest
Okay.
problem because
So what about
skips and stuff over here aren't cheap, mate. My front garden is mainly my back garden anyway, from the main pond to start with.
Yeah.
I've raised the level of that front garden so fucking much, it's unreal.
yeah? So why don't
And that
you consider going 4 down, 3 up, or something like that? A glass window, perhaps.
no window in the new rebuild. No.
But what? But you could come up about a foot, at least a foot or two, right, above the surface.
But then you're gonna block the window off.
The wind.
That's what I mean.
Where it's sitting.
The door's got to be blocked off. I've got to do some building in here. I got a subscriber. He's popping in one day next week, and he is actually a chippy. So I'm going to be pinning him for some ideas and some help. So yeah, cheers, Ashley.
I don't think there's quite enough bricks come out of the koi house to help him out. There was a fair few come out, but I don't think quite enough.
No, and it's I'm going to build it with blocks on edge, not flat.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
this end and long block end is just going to go straight up single skin, but the front wall and the back wall will have 4 pillars. So you'll have a pillar on each corner, and then you'll have 2 pillars on each. And then what I'll do is I'll then fill that with polystyrene, and face it off with some cladding or something.
so you're gonna build the pond with bricks, but then you're not gonna concrete it and line it instead.
Yeah, I'll be using a liner.
Okay.
Is you going to go with a
But
rubber,
if
or are
you-
you going to try and save up
But
and get
if you're
box wall?
going,
Well, no, I got a couple of options. I can speak to Rick and Sean, and I can get a visco liner through them, and they last as long as anything, as long as you don't, as long as you're not taking them apart and putting them back together again.
Yeah.
You know. So there's that.
Oh. No, his sound's gone.
your sound's
Whose
gone,
sound?
bro.
Oh, you're back
You're
now.
back.
Are you back?
What?
Huh?
Literally, the last bit we got to is when you were saying about the visqueen, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. Well, I got that option because the guys will help me out with that. Not a problem. But I quite like the idea of the other option, which is the route that Matt from Koi Central went.
yeah,
And that is by getting sections of rubber liner and joining them. That way, I won't have any creases or anything like that for shit to gather behind.
yeah, it's basically making your own box well, doing it that
but,
way.
but by using that My Pond MS 300.
You have so many beautiful products there, man.
Yeah, MS 300 is good. It's now on saying about MS 300. Did you see Mustang's video?
Which one?
Do you find it's quite funny how they call it like MS 290
Don't know.
in Australia? Because he's basically using it, but he was calling it the MS 290 instead of the
Right.
300. So I don't know whether it's a different type of product or whether it's just named differently.
I don't know.
Because yeah, that'd be an interesting one. I'm going to go back to his video and put a comment on about asking about it.
Nice.
Because when he was having that on that little go on tank he's built, he had a bit of a little bit of a small leak.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so he was
He
saying
ended
about
up,
it in that
ended up
video.
doing it on me with the silicone, didn't he? And I just smear it on.
Yeah, and that's what he was using was the MS290. He was saying.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I know what you're saying there about box world liners signed to him, but I got a quote from my growing on tank. Yeah, my growing on tank depth wise is literally 2 inches short of 4 foot deep. It's internally just short 5 foot, and then by 2 foot internally, and I was quoted 280 quid for a Boxford liner for that little tank.
Yeah.
380 quid for what size of a pond?
Oh, that was a Diddy.
What size?
My grown on tank that's in Long Block, the tank that's in there now,
That's 2,000 liters. That's about 1,600 liters.
it was about four. I'm sure it was about 4.5 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot deep, and yeah, 280 quid they wanted for a Boxford liner.
You can construct that in concrete here for that amount.
Oh damn! Honestly, see where you got the window there. That door there is getting blocked in. What
Yeah.
I wanted to do is see where these stalls are here. Is put a
Yeah.
small window underneath this window in that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang!
So it's something that's only about like
Dang.
a foot deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so windows is only about a foot deep, but
Mm-hmm.
4 foot long. So you get that inner view into there. Oh, she wouldn't let me go half in and half out the house, mate. She's making me make changes out here anyway. So we actually got to enclose this bit in from the front door and the door for this area. Yeah, I know it'd be awesome and I'd love it, but then you've got the condensation issue to worry about because it does get pretty cold out here because this is the north side of the building. So yeah, it there's last year when we had that real big temperature swing, front garden was 10 degrees warmer than the back garden was. Yeah, yeah, you are right there technically, Simon, but no, I don't think she'll swim that one. In fact, I'm making the pond bigger. It is,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'll probably end up doing it like I did Long Block, stack them up 8 blocks at a time because that's all I can get in the car at one point in time. 8 blocks at a time every fortnight. We'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Am I having Kulture Fest? Susan has also asked me this one, and yes, I still would like to do Kulture Fest this year, make it 3 years running. If I do, Martin, are you going to come down? Be lovely to have you. So, yeah. And if I do, I think this year we'll make it a complete 50-50 split. So half the guests will be subscribers and half the guests will be YouTubers. Which YouTubers that is, we do not know yet. I haven't really thought about it that much. We have mentioned it. How we doing, paws and fins? But yeah,
Yeah,
the plan is to have year 3 of Kulture Fest here at Twisted Towers. So yeah, on that bombshell, I think we've been rattling on for about 2 hours now. So
Yeah. 1 hour 59.
I
Pretty
think
much. One more minute and we've hit the 2 hours.
we can say to everyone, thank you very much for joining along.
Thank you so much,
As
guys.
always, it's been a pleasure.
Always pleasure.
See you,
Don't
fam.
forget, we will see you here at the same time next week. As always, guys, I've been Twisted Koi.
I've been said for Mochi Bakoy.
I'm Shane from Hearts Quote, and we'll catch you all next week. Also, guys, keep an eye out for all the other videos coming up throughout the week.
And please
Box
go
live.
and smash the like button, smash the bell
Smash
button.
the like button on your way out, and don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell your mum, tell your uncle, tell Aunt Fanny. On that note, we'll catch you next week.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.